If you ever want to start a massive war on the internet, go to a retro gaming forum. The battle lines are incredibly specific. Some people will fight to the death over whether a CD-ROM console officially counts as retro, or argue for hours about whether someone born in 1999 legally qualifies as a 90s kid. Look at this stack of worn VHS tapes. The intense protectiveness older millennials feel over this era stems directly from this kind of physical reality. Through the rose-tinted glasses of nostalgia, we remember a digital utopia. The actual experience was defined by the constant, grinding friction between software ambitions and hardware limitations. These high-friction experiments established the first real-world prototypes for our modern digital lives, turning a generation of children into involuntary beta testers for the future. In the mid-1990s, heavy, beige boxes like this gateway-style tower started appearing in family living rooms. But for the average person, these machines were deeply intimidating to actually operate. To solve this, designers relied on skeuomorphism. This is a design principle where you make digital interfaces look exactly like real-world physical objects to help users understand how they function. This is Microsoft Bob, a 1995 operating system replacement designed as a cartoon house. To check the date, you couldn't just click an icon. You had to navigate this virtual room and click the calendar on the wall, or ask the cartoon dog for help. The concept was highly ambitious, but rendering an entire graphical living room required massive computing power. It literally overheated the low-end processors of the time, and Microsoft killed the project within a year. It was a clunky failure. Yet the core idea, a personalized, user-friendly virtual workspace featuring a digital assistant, is exactly how we expect our modern smart devices to operate. 3 years later, ambitions shifted from the desktop to the internet. Blizzard released StarCraft with a specific goal: taking multiplayer gaming out of the living room and putting it on a global stage. This is the StarCraft installation menu. Behind this screen was Battle.net, an ambitious hub offering worldwide matchmaking, competitive brackets, and in-game chat. Look at this 56K modem. To reach that global arena, you had to run an active phone cord into the back of it, tying up your family's landline for hours just to transfer basic game data. Every single match carried immense physical stakes. If anyone else in the house picked up a telephone receiver in another room, your connection would instantly sever, completely ruining the game. This is what early global competition actually looked like. Players sat shoulder to shoulder at cramped desks, staring into massive CRT monitors while battling strangers worldwide. Despite the staggering phone bills and dropped connections, the mechanics tested in these messy bedrooms created the foundational logic for modern professional gaming and global matchmaking networks. That same year, another industry tried to push the early web to its breaking point by broadcasting a massive live pop culture event directly over the internet. World Championship Wrestling put together an internet-exclusive event called Malice at the Palace. It featured a highly anticipated steel cage match starring Hulk Hogan, who was at the absolute peak of his global fame. As you can see by this freezing progress bar, there was a severe technical bottleneck. Dial-up modems were completely incapable of processing live video. Attempting to stream a wrestling match would cause the system to buffer indefinitely and crash. WCW came up with an audacious workaround. They charged fans $10 to connect to a live, audio-only radio broadcast of the fight using a software program called RealPlayer. Fans paid premium prices to sit at their desks, staring at a static JPEG of a wrestling logo, listening to a commentator scream into a microphone about action they physically couldn't see. Because there was no video footage, the event is essentially lost to history. But by charging fans to listen to an exclusive audio stream over the internet, WCW accidentally invented the premium live podcast. Today, we operate in a reality of frictionless, flat-design user interfaces and seamless 4K video streaming. When you look at the fireworks, giant screens, and massive scale of a modern stadium event, you're seeing the realization of those 1998 internet ambitions. Which brings us back to the internet forums. Why do millennials aggressively defend and gatekeep their nostalgia for this specific era? If you look closely, this protectiveness rarely centers on the actual plot of a video game or television show. Instead, it revolves around the shared generational trauma of surviving the physical friction required to make early technology function. Losing an entire weekend's progress because you didn't have a memory card, melting a computer processor, or getting kicked off a dial-up connection because someone picked up the phone. These were stressful rites of passage on a new digital frontier. The 1990s rarely delivered on its technological promises, but those spectacular, awkward failures functioned as the necessary, often painful first steps toward the seamless digital world we live in today.